Honestly, I thought I would come out of 2020 with more regrets. Hi everybody, today I am going to be talking about 9 things that I regret buying in 2020. I did a video kind of similar to this mid-year, which mostly had to do with my planners, but I've kind of moved past that as I have started using planners again the last few months. That one is a little out of date, although there are a couple of return friends on here. I'd love to hear from you in the comments something that you regret buying in 2020 down below while I'm talking about mine, because if I get my money back for some of these things, I might actually consider it. I have 2 returning favorites from the mid-year regrets video. The first one is self-help books, and this is actually not one item. There are several of them. I don't know how many of them. I don't know which ones they are because I don't fucking remember what I bought. Got books on my bookshelf to my right here that I bought this year with that vibe of like, yeah, 2020, new decade, gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah, fucking right. So yeah, I wish that I had maybe not bought so many of those. I do plan to read some of them, but part of me wonders if yesterday's Cindy maybe wasn't thinking as clearly as perhaps tomorrow's Cindy will be. So yeah. And number 2 is White Claw. No. Everybody and their mother was talking about how White Claw, the hard seltzer that has like the alcohol in it, is like the greatest drink ever. I drank some of it on a live stream. I don't even drink alcohol anymore. Like, I might have a sip or two. I would love to have like a live plan with me where I have a glass of sparkling wine, but to be perfectly honest, with as shitty as I'm feeling right now and kidney failure and all the medications that I'm on, alcohol just does me dirty. It does me so dirty. But at least some of it tastes good. White Claw is not one of those. White Claw is like if LaCroix and Bartles and James took everything good about them and threw it away, and that's all that's left. It's fucking not right, man. And if you like it, no shame to you, but dude, Now I have a couple that come from sort of the beginning of the year when I first started to go to the gym and I was really excited about it. The first one is my Fitbit. Now, this is one of the ones I wouldn't return. I want to put it back on at some point and go back to counting my steps. I did find it useful, but I got really resentful of it when I was so excited about how everything was going to the gym several days a week, just easy workouts, walking on the treadmill, that's it. Very, very gentle. And then I had my first gout attack. Yay, kidney disease, turning me into Benjamin Franklin. It's not so much that I am not happy I bought the Fitbit as much as I can't help but associate having it and getting gout for the first time, because they kind of happened pretty soon within each other. So I'm waiting for enough time to have passed between the 1-2 whammy of buying the Fitbit and getting gout for the first time before I can reapproach it and see if we can at least become civil co-workers. Loki, what's up, dude? To see if we could become like civilized co-workers, even if we never get back to like the friends with benefits stage. You know who's not my regret? Loki. Where you at, buddy? There you are. On that same note though, I'd been going to the gym for a few weeks. I'd finally gotten comfortable going to the gym, kind of getting the hang of it, getting the hang of, you know, like the layout of the land, understanding what the classes were like, and all of that good shit. My gout had finally gone down. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try again because I really want to have some fitness in my life. I'm going to do some aqua classes. I had finally built up the courage to go to aqua aerobics. Now you may say, Cindy, why do you need courage to go to aqua aerobics? It's not about the bathing suit. It's because every time I go to aqua aerobics or I see people at aqua aerobics, it's always senior citizens. There is nothing wrong with being well-aged. When you have kidney disease and you find yourself being the only person under the age of 65 in the nephrologist's office, and you find yourself talking about your gout with other patients all the time, you start to feel a little old for your age, especially if that age is 40. And so it took me a while to get over my own, let's be real, it was very superficial hang-ups over doing aqua aerobics. So I finally got it. I finally got over it. Got myself a gym bag that had a wet pouch for a swimsuit. Got myself a swim cap because at the beginning of the year I was trying the whole curly girl thing. I was all prepared to go back to the gym, and then COVID hit and I was like, motherfucker. Like, really, is this Is this the way we're going to play these things? Not thrilled about that. It was a cute bag too, although I still have it. It wasn't that expensive. It was pretty cheap. I ordered it online because while I was excited to try things, I wasn't excited to spend money because I'm super cheap. So I may try to go back. I know at some point my gym is starting to do outdoor swim classes, but I have no idea how that works with socially distancing. So part of me is like really afraid to try, but the other part of me really would like to get my body moving in a way that doesn't hurt my kidneys. And while I'm looking for a good stretching routine that can help for me, that does not involve squashing my midsection, water aerobics, swimming in general has always been good for me in terms of that. So I need to like figure it out, man. Seriously. The ones I just talked about are the only ones on this list that I regret buying because of COVID-19 and everything that happened because of that. Well, COVID and gout and kidney disease. These other things are because they suck, or at least to me they suck. They might not suck to you. This is all my opinion. These are all the things that I actually am kind of mad at myself for spending money on. Number one is a body wash. Now, I am not picky when it comes to body wash. What I want is for it to smell yummy. Smell doesn't even have to linger. I wear fucking Bath and Body Works. I have perfume if I want to smell good, and I don't want to like give people headaches. I don't care how good it smells all the time. What I want is for it to smell delicious while I'm in the shower, because my shower is my sacred space. I shower twice a day, once in the morning to get clean, once in the evening to relax my body to help me go to sleep, because usually in the evening I'm in a world of massive pain and it helps relax my muscles. All I want is for my body wash to smell good and to not be like weirdly textured. I don't like body washes, like some that have smelled good have had like little beads in them. I don't like that. Some have been kind of creamy and thick, but like almost lotiony, and that kind of weirds me out too. I've actually had some pretty good luck with the Olay and the Dove body washes. They're pretty thick, but they still kind of lather up nicely. They smell good, and they do what I need them to do. I tend to rotate through scents, whatever looks interesting to me. I got the mango and almond butter body wash from Dove. Did the little thing where you open it and you sniff it in the store to see if you're gonna like it. It smelled okay. Got it in the shower. I could not handle how it smelled. It just smelled gross to me. It didn't smell like, poop or anything terrible like that. The smell was not working for me, and I thought maybe it was just the first time, but I used it a couple more times, and it was bad enough where I took it out of the shower and put it up on my shelf in case I was desperate and needed body wash one day. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. This is probably something some of you love the smell of, but for me, I can't even describe why I don't like it. I just really don't like it. There is something about it that smells funky to me, and I did not want to go to Funky Town in the shower. The second one might be a little bit controversial to some of you, but if you understand my point of view on things, then you'll get at least where I'm coming from. This was a Harry Potter house. Like, each of us had our own house that we were from. We've all read the books. We've all loved the books. There was Harry Potter merch coming out the wazoo in this house. And when the mask shortage happened, the PPE shortage happened at the beginning of COVID, I ordered a bunch of cloth masks for the family from someone in the planner community. This has nothing to do with them. Their masks are phenomenal. My mask was a Harry Potter mask. So was Jesse's. And then J.K. Rowling just had to go and be not only transphobic on Twitter, but then double down on being transphobic and post like an entire fucking essay about how transphobic she is while saying how right she was. I actually realized it's very hard for me to even enjoy anything Harry Potter related anymore, especially considering that I have a trans, non-binary child who was shattered. Like, when I had to tell my kid about that, about the series that made my kid, as so many of our kids and so many of you love reading, I had to tell my trans kid how transphobic, I didn't even tell Kat how transphobic J.K. Rowling was. I mentioned a couple of things, and Kat, who is quite savvy on the internet and has done their own internet rabbit holes about this sort of thing, Kat went and figured it out, and Kat looked shattered. And I couldn't in good conscience keep using the mask. We renamed our cat. Like, Lucy's name was Lucius Meowfoy, but we have renamed him to Lucy Diamond, even though his real name is Lucifer, which is what we all three besides Jessie wanted, but Jessie refused. I was so mad. I was so angry. I was angry at how right she thought she was. But I was so much more angry as a mom watching my kid see one of their heroes disregard who they are. Yeah, so I regret buying that. I don't regret giving the money to the person in the planner community, but I'm not going to wear it anymore. On a less depressing note, I very rarely don't finish books. I tend to both be a sucker for punishment and somebody who I can't like unfinish. I can't leave something unfinished. I read the entire Twilight series because my friend told me I wasn't allowed to talk shit about them unless I read them, so I did, so I could talk shit about them. That's what kind of a reader I am, and I couldn't finish Kevin Kwan's new book, Sex and Vanity. None of the characters were likable. None of the characters were likable. Now, Kevin Kwan's the guy who wrote Crazy Rich Asians and its 2 sequels, and trust me, there are plenty of unlikable characters in those books. But the storytelling and the dynamics between the characters and the plot was so good. Even when there's unlikable characters, you want to know what happens to them. You get invested. I couldn't get invested in shit in that book. I got halfway through it and was finally like, I can't do this anymore. I got better shit to read. It's still sitting on the side of my bed in case I ever decide to start it again. I was not anticipating, after how much I loved the first 3 books of his that I had read, how much I would really, really, really not want to read or finish this last one. 2 more left, and they are both related to the planner world. And neither of them will come as any surprise to you if you had seen the videos where I talked about them. The first one is the Power Sheets markers. I don't even remember what they're called. They're the markers that Cultivate What Matters is selling with their Power Sheets collection this year. They're like the color coding markers that you're supposed to use with the things in your fucking Power Sheets. They're basically Crayola Super Tips, but way more expensive. You pay more money for that pack of 10 markers than you would for the 100 pack of Super Tips, and the colors they picked didn't even all match the colors of like the stickers in the Power Sheets that well. Oh, I talk about them in my Power Sheets accessories review. I'll leave it linked up above from like my real-time annoyance, because I was annoyed already going in, and then I got more annoyed as the video went on. But yeah, those, don't waste your money. I love the Power Sheets, the stickers I love. They're products from that company that I super put my stand behind. Not those markers. Don't buy them. They're a ripoff. And finally, one of the most disappointing items in all of 2020 for me, and this is going to sound so silly, but when something gets hyped up so much and then it is disappointing to you as much as it was to me, it's almost like the disappointment is extra flavorful because you were hyped up so much. Little backstory. You're going to figure this out if you've been watching my channel. I was looking for my new bullet journal notebook. I had used Leuchtturm, and I had the old Scribbles That Matter with the good paper, but they stopped making those. I tried Archer and Olive and used them for a while, but determined that 160 GSM thick-ass paper is not for me. I had settled on the Baron Fig notebook, the big one, because I realized I wanted a bigger size. I owned it, I bought the notebook, bought the leather cover, was super excited, and then the day after I bought the leather cover, people started hinting about a addition to bullet journal collaboration with Leuchtturm with thicker paper that wasn't 160 GSM thick, it was 120 GSM in this beautiful blush color with enough pages for what I wanted, and I was so excited. And all these people were posting about it. I had people telling me that I would love it. I was so excited, so I ordered one and they sold out, and I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And then I got mine and I did a live first impressions, and you can watch that live when I discovered that I got a misprinted one. An entire middle section is like double or triple printed, but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem was that I can't see any of the goddamn dots. It's so faint. I could see them on the double and triple printed pages, but not on the regular printed pages. I am too blind for that bullet journal, and that disappointed me because it was so pretty. But having a misprinted journal with super, super faint dots, it was not the business for me at all. There were other things I didn't care for. You can watch the live stream replay if you want to, but the one silver lining was that I had already picked out the Baron Fig. I had already got the leathery cover. I had that to fall back on. There was this minute where I was like, wait, is the bullet journal coming out for me? Is it? And it sold out, and there was so much hype, and I got it. And it was disappointing. It wasn't even that terrible. Not even counting getting a misprinted one. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't for me in so many ways that all of that hype that I wasn't even expecting. It was unwelcome hype. And then disappointment. And it was really, this is the greatest excitement and then come down that I've had in a long time. There is one other time in my life I have had that level of extreme hype massive disappointment that kind of feels the same ridiculous way. And that's when they came out with the Nicolas Cage version of the Left Behind book. Fun fact, I've read the entire Left Behind series. I'm not a Christian. I am certainly not an evangelical Christian, but they are like the Michael Bay books of religious fiction, and I have read them a couple of times, checking them out from the library. I just think that they are hilariously extreme, and the thought of my favorite hilariously extreme actor Nicolas Cage being in it playing Rayford Steele, that it couldn't be anything but amazing, and it was so weak. The Kirk Cameron version was better. Like, it was so weak. And that's kind of how I feel about the Bullet Journal edition too. For me, it is so weak, and I just wish I had never heard of it. So that's it. That's my regrets of 2020, my regretful purchases. Would I give them all back for money if I could? No, there's some of them that I will use again, hopefully, fingers crossed. And not all of them have to do with the shit fire that is 2020. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what one of your regretful purchases in 2020 is. Did you buy the Power Sheets markers? I hope it wasn't me who got you to buy them, because... Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, peace.